So Alex Garland, we both love Alex Garland
Absolutely.
stuff. Kind of did Dread. I think we did more work on Dread than he got credited for.
Okay.
Devs we loved. What's the one with Natalie Portman?
Well, there's Ex Machina as well.
Yes, that's brilliant.
Annihilation.
So brilliant. For me, everything he's done so far has been good.
Yeah.
So kind of looking forward to this. The trailer was really interesting because I didn't really know what to expect. And
so Rob, let's just say spoilers here, yeah? Should we just say spoilers? I think we can talk spoilers, right?
Yeah, we might touch on spoilers a bit. I mean, we try not to go out of our way to just ruin things for people, but the premise is grieving. A woman's grieving for the death of her. Is it husband or a boyfriend? I think it's a boyfriend, isn't it?
I think husband. Actually,
to be honest, this is what the trailer tells you. This is what you get from the trailer.
Yes,
actually, basically, her boyfriend's jumped out the window, so she's gone off to a little retreat to try and just get her head together, just away from the world, away from people, just in this lovely rural posh house in the countryside. And Greg Kinnear keeps popping up as everybody.
No, it's Rory Kinnear, isn't it?
Rory Kinnear. Sorry, Greg Kinnear's his dad.
Greg Kinnear's his dad. Old 70s, yeah.
Yeah. So that's the sort of premise of it. And what did you think of it, Mark?
Right. So I saw the trailer, and I thought, okay, this. And Rob, you just behind the curtain again. Rob had put in our notes, you need to watch this urgently. What WTF? And I was like, oh, okay. So I sat down with this straight away. This got me because it's got that. I don't know how to describe it. It's filmed in an English style. I don't know how to describe that any better than that. Do you know what I mean? It's not got that sort of mega budget, slick American look that you get. Feels quite low budget, quite pared back.
I think it was filmed during lockdowns.
More probably, yeah.
Yeah, because it's a very, very small cast.
It feels to me like it's an extended Tales of the Unexpected or Twilight Zone episode, which for me
I can
works.
See that. Yeah, I can see the Tales of the Unexpected vibe. Yes, it has got that feeling like when you watch 1970s scary BBC 2.
Very much so. Very much so.
They've got a slightly something where it's filmed in England because we've not built any sets or any new locations or anything. So it's filmed in England, but everything's are slightly off and uneasy.
Very much so. There's not really a background music score, is there? It's more.
Oh, a lot of it's like looping Hearth. There's a bit where she sort of does this echoing song, and it keeps playing that over and over again, which unsettles you a little bit.
So in this, there's little things that build up. So loss of phone signal. Oh, something happens. Oh, this happens, and it just puts you on ease. And it is that thing of, what's it called, Rob? Unreliable narrator. Is she an unreliable narrator, or are what we're seeing here, is it real? You also get a backstory of the relationship with her husband and about that. And it's things like, I mean, we've all been on it. She's on a Teams call or a video call with her friend, and then the camera goes off, and she's like, the Wi-Fi. Now we've all been there. We've all done that. Yet in this setting, it's creepy. And it's weird. There's a few instances where she's on her phone and you see someone walk outside in the distance, don't you? And it's just these little, without spoilers. So again, but this is the trailer though. You see all these characters who are Rory Kinnear. So you've got the owner of the house, who's like a jolly Harry Enfield type character, the local policeman, the local vicar, a young boy, a few guys in the pub. But you never know.
All the guys.
In fact, everyone in this film.
Yeah, because there's a barman and then there's a couple of people sitting there having a drink in a pub, which reminds me of the Slaughtered Lamb out of the start of American Werewolf in London, when they all sort of stare at her when she goes in.
In her reaction is kind of odd, but not as odd as you would think if it happened to you in real life.
She doesn't react to the fact. She makes no acknowledgement from what the viewer is seeing that all of these people have the same face.
That's right. So is it all in her mind? Now, spoilers. So 3/4 of the way through, this film is, I would say, a thriller dealing with loss, grief, personal tragedy, abuse.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking this. I was interpreting it at that point as thinking it's this idea how abuse and a traumatic event or relationship can colour your outlook on the world around you. So this idea of having an abusive partner, in this case a woman and with an abusive male partner, could colour your opinion on all men, because this is your interaction with a man. Therefore, you are then suspicious, thinking all men are essential, this potential. So I was thinking, this is clever. They're all played by the same actor because she's almost seeing every man in the same way. But I thought, why don't they just cast him as a boyfriend then?
Well, this I don't know. This I don't know.
So is she seeing everyone the same, or is he saying all men are the same? All men have the potential to be
the same. And then there's also instances.
Arseholes.
Yeah, there's also instances where, in particular, there's a scene with a vicar, and he's chatting to her, and he kind of says, "Well, what did you do that drove him to hit you, or whatever?" And it's that twisting it round of, and I think
blaming
different facets of these different characters are, accusation, guilt, assumption that it was something you did. So it goes on like this, right?
Yeah, because because this is where I thought it was clever, because it was going some interesting territory, because it's touching on that sort of thing with someone being blamed, like someone's been attacked, and it's like, well, you deserve to dress like that, or or abusive people where they're saying, I'm not an expert on this, but just what you judge from documentaries and TV shows about it. This idea is like, oh well, it's kind of your fault because you wound me up and that's why I hit you.
Yeah,
and it kind of touches on that, doesn't it? Really?
Yeah. Rob,
are we going to
talk the final 20 minutes of the film, or do you not want to spoil it?
Well, vaguely, I would say that without saying, because it might intrigue someone to watch it, but
it goes mad.
The ending goes a bit batshit crazy.
It does.
It goes
very stylized. Yeah, Cronenberg's good call.
Body horror. Some of the most disturbing images I think I've ever seen in a film, particularly in a mainstream in inverted commas. Is it mainstreamish? I suppose. I mean, it's known director, known actor. It's not some like weird cult Japanese horror movie we picked up on here,
something like that. Yeah,
yeah, like Takeshi Miike or something, or it's not one of these sorts of things. It really goes somewhere, and I don't know what it's trying to say. And I've just felt I was enjoying it. I was intrigued. Then the ending lost me, and it kind of coloured my whole feeling of the whole film, and it kind of lost me. I thought that it's gone too far just for my own personal taste of what I could watch on a film. It's like, this is pushing the limit now. I don't feel why you need to go there. I don't know what your point is here.
I've read some reviews and discussions on this, and I kind of understand a bit more now what they think is going on at the end of this. For me, when I say I loved it, I wasn't sitting there whooping at the screen enjoying it, but for me, it just added to the extra horror, creepy, strange... The panic and the terror. And again, is all this in her mind? Because her friend turns up at the house and there's blood everywhere and all sorts. So you think it is really real in real life.
So then it's just, I can't feel that. I don't think it's clever in a way that I've come away thinking, well, this could be the case, or it could be this. I'm actually finding, well, it could be real. No, it can't be real, because then why are people... In that case, it's not real. If it's not real, then how could this be the case? And I feel like either interpretation don't work. They kind of clash with some of the clues and the evidence. Like the two theories clash.
Don't work out,
him dressed up, to make it remind me of League of Gentlemen.
It was, wasn't it? Yeah. Especially the owner of the house.
Yes, some of the characters in League of Gentlemen, like the butcher who's serving everyone. Yeah. Very British reference for anyone that's not a British listener for this, but those kind of slightly weird, creepy, unsettling black comedy characters.
Yeah.
It felt a bit too much like them, and that was pulling me out of it, because again, she got this, quite a serious character, and she's really good in it, and the trauma that she's going through, and then you've got these kind of him with like sort of novelty fake teeth and stuck on beards, and the whole makeup thing was a bit. I found it jarring. I do get that.
I do get that. I mean, there was one scene I read a thing about. Obviously, being a bloke, I've never sort of dealt with this as well, but there's a scene where she's gone for a walk in the countryside, and she's on an old railway track, and she sees a figure in the distance sort of following her, and it really unnerves her. And some of the things I've read from online reviewers said, for a woman out, so a woman, say, on her way home in the evening or something, and you see someone who you believe to, it's really quite scary. And that did, for me, that worked. That they got that across. Really, yeah, Rob. The end of the film is mental, crazy, mad. But saying that, I loved it. I've been thinking about it a lot. I think, will I watch it again? Maybe. Maybe just to sort of get a second opinion because it is so strange.
I could not watch this a second time. I wouldn't want to.
I think I could if I was in the right mood, but. It was definitely out there, like Annihilation and Debs. They all get you thinking, don't they, about different things. But he's definitely ramped it up to 11, hasn't it? Did you not? You didn't like it? I liked it. Rob didn't.
No, it was.
Listeners, if you've watched it, let us know what you think in the comments down below, because for our YouTube listeners, or email us if we've been watching.
So how many naked men in the garden out of 10 would you give it?
Do you know what? I really liked it. I'm going to give it like 7.5. Crazy.
7.5. You can't have 7.5 naked men in the garden. That doesn't make sense.
Today, I'm going to give it 8 fake dickhead with teeth. I can't stop thinking about it. I've thought about it. I've watched YouTube videos about it. You know how.
We've not had one of these for a while because I would say 4 out of 10.
Look, I get it. If people don't like it, I totally get it because it is quite strong, quite weird, quite odd.
I would have dismissed it the second I'd watched it if it wasn't Alex Garland. I would have just gone, what a load of rubbish. Because it was Alex Garland. I just thought, I need to read about this because this guy's really, really clever.
Yeah.
He's cleverer than me, so let me try and understand what he's trying to say here. And I just felt like, no, I couldn't get there.